Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 19th Annual Governor Volunteer Service Award. I am Maria Cristina Fuentes, and I'm the Director of the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family. And it is a privilege to be here today to celebrate individuals and groups who have given so much of themselves to strengthen communities across our state. Each and every one of you here today is shining a light on how service and volunteerism is a critical component to generating solutions and ensuring that we have thriving communities. If you're not familiar with the full portfolio of GOYFF, Governor Ducey has tasked us with a very broad range of subjects, including juvenile justice delinquency prevention, substance abuse prevention, preventing and serving victims of sexual and domestic violence, child well-being, human trafficking. And through all of this work, we know firsthand the critical role that our AmeriCorps programs, our faith-based partners, and service and volunteerism at large play in developing and deploying solutions for all of these community-based challenges. So thank you all so very much for being excellent partners in this work. This year, we received over 150 nominations for these awards. And I think this speaks to the incredible work being done by so many Arizonans statewide. Like my boss often reminds us, the government cannot do this work alone. The passion, determination, and heart that volunteers bring to this work is unmatched, and we are very grateful for each and every one of you and the thousands of volunteers throughout our state. It is truly an honor to oversee this program and to work alongside of you and to work side by side with the Governor's Commission on Service and Volunteerism. Each commissioner is dedicated to ensuring Arizonans in service and volunteer efforts across our states are supported, and we are very grateful for their service. And now it is my pleasure to introduce my boss and our governor, Governor Doug Ducey.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see everybody. Happy Monday morning. I want to say thank you again to Director Fuentes for the great work that she does, and congratulate you all in advance on the wonderful work you've done as volunteers. Today is our annual Volunteer Service Awards, and it's a special time being what we've been through over the last 2 years. After seeing how many Arizonans have stepped up to support our communities through all of our challenges, it's hard just to pick a handful of awardees. Countless Arizonans have helped us navigate through this pandemic, recover from the devastating wildfires and flooding, preserve the worst, persevere through this worst border crisis in over 20 years, and support the resettlement of Afghan refugees in our state. And there's much more to do beyond that. Most recently, we've seen stories how everyday Arizonans and nonprofit organizations have supported the freedom fighters in Ukraine. In March, a group of volunteers got together in Phoenix to gather and organize medical supplies to send to the people of Ukraine. A baker in Mesa is raising money to help a baker in Kiev pay for bread and to support their brave workers. There are countless other stories like this, and the people inside this room encapsulate those stories. And they all serve as examples of the giving spirit that is felt throughout our state. There's no one in our state who embodies this spirit more than the awardees that are in this room, who we are going to celebrate today. Thank you all for what you do. The government can do so much, and we should expect much of our government, but it really is the heart and spirit of our volunteers that stand up and say, "Send me," and they make the real difference in the lives of our vulnerable populations. In countless ways, you've all shown a dedication to service and a passion for helping others. You've supported local charities and our nonprofit organizations. You've strengthened our neighborhoods. You've cared for the most vulnerable, and you've helped those in need. And most of all, I think you've been a shining example of what it means to serve. Through the process, you've built up communities and improved the lives of thousands of real people in difficult situations. On behalf of our entire state, I want to say thank you again for all that you've done and all you continue to do. It's an honor to present you with a Volunteer Service Award this year, and you have truly earned it. It's the least that we can do. I want to thank Maria Cristina Fuentes. She's the director of the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family. I'm very fortunate to have her on my team, and all the members on the Commission on Service and Volunteerism for hosting this event and promoting volunteer efforts in our state. And many times when you're leading, it's young people who see what you're doing, and they see a model of what their life can be in the future. And this is something that we've done an excellent job as a state and a country, passing down through the generations. I want to say, because of your hard work and because of the gratitude I have due to your hard work, almost a third of Arizona residents formally volunteer, contributing over 160 million hours of service every year. And that's not including the millions of Arizonans who serve their communities by helping out their neighbors and spending time with family and friends that are in need. Every single one of these are simple acts of kindness, and it's a role in strengthening our state and making it better. I'm sure many of you have heard the famous quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? You all are able to answer that question every day, and we're immensely proud and grateful for your service. Please keep up the great work. Please continue being shining examples for others and the youth of our state. And thank you for all you do on behalf of the state of Arizona. God bless you all.
Thank you. All right, now on to the most special part of our day is I'm so thrilled to be here to talk through each and every one of our awardees. And if I could please have Donna Davis join me to share in this moment and these awards. I'm very excited also that we're able to do this in person this year. Personal fact, this award ceremony was my very first ceremony ever as director of the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family. I even mispronounced the name of the office in front of my very first event with my boss at this very ceremony. So it's, Donna was right there with me. So I'm very excited. This event will obviously forever have a very special place in my heart, not just because of what it means, but because for me it was my first, and so I remember it very fondly. But now on to the most important part. So our very first awardee is our Inspired Youth Leadership Award. And I found this out when the governor was chatting it up in the hallway. But this young man is 16 years old. And I want you to keep that in mind when I tell you that 2 years ago, in the middle of a global pandemic, this young man founded a charity bakery. In a very short time, over 5,000 cupcakes were baked and served at organizations like the Phoenix Dream Center and Sunshine Residential Orphanage, and to frontline workers like the Union Hills Fire Department. Additionally, profits from the bakery sales raised over $10,000 for various organizations, including sponsoring 25,000 meals at St. Mary's Food Bank. And you may think, wow, that's incredible, that's amazing. But as this young man endeavored into baking and fundraising and bringing sunshine and smiles to so many people, he also decided that there was a negative environmental impact to the non-recyclable materials that cupcakes need to be delivered. So as a result, he developed an edible cupcake liner to also ensure that his efforts weren't having any negative effect in our communities. In addition to this bakery and all of these efforts, he leads the Basis Peoria Youth Policy Assembly, tutors other students at his school, is a member of the City of Peoria Youth Advisory Council and serves on the Punjami Youth Council. It is incredibly inspiring to see so much passion and dedication to service in our youth, and this young man has really outdone himself. So it is my honor to recognize Avi Agarwal with the Inspired Youth Leadership Award. Thank you. Congratulations, Avi. Come on up.
Thank you, everybody. First, I would like to thank the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family for putting this all together. This is an amazing opportunity, and I know a lot of hard work took to put this all together, so I'm really thankful for this opportunity. I'd also really like to thank my nominator and my mentor throughout almost my entire middle school and high school experience, my AP language teacher, Miss Caitlin Ainsley. She couldn't be here today because she has school, but she has been there for me for almost 8 years now, and she's guided me through almost all my steps, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am right now without her help and guidance through every single step of my journey in middle school and high school, so thank you so much. I'd also like to thank my family, my mom and my dad, who have also helped me a lot and ensured that I'm able to do what I want to do and have guided me and supported me throughout my journey as well. I've lived in Arizona for as long as I can remember, and this state has given me so much. All my opportunities and everything I've been able to do is because this amazing state has allowed me to do it. And so whenever I have an opportunity to give back to this state, I always want to, and I want to keep on giving back to this amazing state throughout the rest of my life. This is just the beginning for me. Thank you.
Very good. That's awesome. That's incredible. What a great way to start off our recognition ceremony. Thank you so much. That's, you just keep reading and learning about all of the work that you're doing, and every single one of your stories is like, we did this, and then this, and then this. So thank you. That is just the beginning. Okay, so make sure I don't lose my place. Next, we're going to be honoring 2 individuals with the Inspired Adult Leadership Award. This next honoree serves with the Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteers of Navajo County, and also as a court-appointed special advocate, or a CASA, and a CASA ambassador for Navajo County, dedicating over 2,500 hours to the Sheriff's Auxiliary last year. She supervised, right, They supervise 5 units, 2 committees, and nearly 90 volunteers. With their help, she organized a holiday gift drive, which served several hundred children, delivered food to residents of Navajo Nation, organized welfare checks for homebound individuals, and developed a youth first responder program. As a CASA, she is a voice in the courtroom on behalf of abused and neglected children, and as a CASA ambassador, she encourages others to participate in this life-changing work. And so today, it really is my privilege, as someone who very much loves, appreciates CASAs, and wants to encourage anyone to join that program, it is my privilege to recognize Lori Wong with the Inspired Adult Leadership Award. Come on up, Lori.
Avi, you're a hard act to follow. I apologize. I'm old. I have to write these things down now. Thank you to the governor and the committee for which this award has been established. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to accept this award on behalf of the people and the agencies that partner with me in order to establish the youth and civic programs for the state of Arizona. I'd like to thank my board and staff of LEO Code 4 and future First Responders of America, Jeff Hanna, Stacy Williamson, Terry Reaver, Renee Norman, Byron Lewis, Annalise Pfeiffer, as well as each and every current, future First Responder cadet. Also, thank you to the departments that have sponsored and partnered with us, like Heber Overguard Fire, Snowflake Taylor PD, as well as local high schools and the other first responder agencies in the area. My work with Navajo County Superior Court, the CASA program, has been my devotion, to abused and neglected children in the foster care system. Thank you for allowing me to be an advocate on behalf and be your Navajo County's ambassador. Finally, to Sheriff David Klaus, it has been a distinct opportunity to serve you as your former captain and president of the Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteers of Navajo County. Thank you for allowing me to serve the public of Navajo County with integrity, passion, and honor. And last, which should be first, to my husband, Robin, thank you for working just as hard as I do and for sharing my time with the rest of the state of Arizona. You should share this with me, and God bless Arizona.
It takes a uniquely special heart to serve as a voice of abused and neglected children, especially in the moments that cause us serve in that space. So especially grateful for that. Our next honoree has dedicated over 750 hours to serve an estimated 7,000 individuals in her community in Colorado City, which I will tell you I had the privilege to visit. And the work being done there, the services, the heart is tremendous, and the need is also tremendous, and this honoree really embodies that spirit. And it's a very impressive journey and a very creative way to serve, in my opinion. This individual has earned the trust of her community, inspiring many towards healing, recognizing the need to encourage healthy living as a part of healing. She started the Short Creek Running Club and has hosted many runs and triathlons. She was even featured in Runner's World magazine. She started a farmer's market where residents can access healthy food. And if that wasn't enough, she created an online portal where job seekers can identify local job opportunities. This individual has also brought celebration back to the town in the form of the annual Independence Day Parade, the Halloween Trunk and Treat, as well as an annual cemetery cleanup project which instills pride and connection. And we all know that our physical health is a big part of our overall mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And so, in addition to all of those things, she is also the first woman to be appointed to the Colorado City Airport Board and serves as the president of the Community Rec Center in the inaugural building board. So today it's really an honor to recognize Darlene Stubbs with the Inspired Adult Leadership Award. Come on up, Jared.
Thank you. I love it. Okay. Woo, well, this is exciting. I would like to thank Governor Ducey and his team. I'd like to thank my husband, my family, and my community for their support. I couldn't do what I do without all the volunteers around me and all the voluntold. So thanks to them. Yeah. My why is because all the work that I do really fills my heart with so much happiness to give back to my community. So thank you.
You know, you're up here, you're doing the awards, you're getting through it, and you can feel the emotion and the passion in each individual, and it's, it's hard to stay, not emotional yourself, because you can just feel the passion and the heart that drives the work. And so I'm very grateful. I love this. Thank you, Emily, for doing this in person again this year. Okay, our next awardee, the National Service Volunteer. Our next volunteer has been engaged with the AmeriCorps Senior Program at Interfaith Community Services, ICS, in Tucson since 2018 and has a history of community service. In this role, he drives 2 mobile meal routes, ensuring that seniors and individuals with disabilities have access to nutritious meals. He also serves with the Workforce Development Program, where he assists job seekers with various skills, and the Home Sweet Home program, where he helps seniors live independently. Serving as a leader in the AmeriCorps Senior Corps Task Force, He has organized road cleanup efforts, diaper wipe distributions. As the liaison between ICS and the St. Mark's United Methodist Church, he organized food collection drives during the pandemic that resulted in over 40,000 pounds of food being collected, as well as the annual peanut butter drive, and I found this fascinating. It resulted in 1,851 jars of peanut butter gathered, which was the largest single source donation. He has also done a new initiative between ICS and a local pet food distribution, personally ferrying over 20,000 pounds of pet food to the ICS food bank, and to any of us that have dog sons and cat daughters. That is truly special, and I'm very grateful for that, because I wouldn't want my puppy overlooked either. So it is an honor to recognize John Yost as the National Service Volunteer of the Year.
How about these microphones for us taller guys? This is exciting. Thank you to the governor's office for having us here today, and all you other award recipients. It's truly an honor. I'd like to thank all of the people that I have the honor to serve with every day that really inspire me to do what I do. Interfaith Community Services in Tucson, Arizona, St. Mark's United Methodist Church in Oro Valley, Tucson Refugee Ministry, and Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Southern Arizona. Most of all, special thanks to my wife, Carla. Without her, I guarantee you, I would not be here. God knows where I might be. But I wouldn't be here. Easy, Tom. So thank you very much. I have a whole bunch of quotes, and I'm not famous for any of them, and most of them aren't very good. But from the older segment of the population, I'll leave you with one, and that is, it's kind of where I'm at in my life, is do as much as you can for as long as you can, because the day will come when you cannot. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Congratulations. Our next award category is Service to Community. Since 2015, a group of parents got together with a mission to help other parents navigate the challenges of that substance abuse presents. Through weekly support groups and the use of an evidence-based curriculum, during the pandemic, they faced some unique challenges, as so many did, in helping deliver, whether it's services, training, curriculums, ways to gather. They serve some unique challenges. But they overcame these unique hurdles and continued their service. This group was able to navigate this challenging landscape and hosted over 1,300 meetings virtually and in person in 2021 alone, with fewer than 40 volunteers. And they dedicated over 3,200 hours to serve over 10,000 individuals every year. As a parent of teenagers and almost teenagers, I will give a special personal thank you to everyone who takes time out of their days and their lives to ensure that parents like me have supports like this in the communities, because I will tell you firsthand, I can't do it on my own. And so I am very grateful and honored to recognize parents of addicted loved ones with the Service to Community Award.
Thank you so much. My name is Kim Humphrey, and I'm actually not only a volunteer, but I'm also now the CEO of Parents of Addicted Loved Ones. And the only reason that became the case was because it got so big. And I will tell you, first of all, thank you. It's an honor to be here with such a wonderful company with all of these other volunteers. Our situation is unique. To be a volunteer facilitator for PAL is not something most people would raise their hand and want to do, Because the first criteria is that you have to be the parent of someone suffering from substance use disorder. Having an addicted loved one is not a fun experience for families, and as a matter of fact, it's destroying many of our families, and it is a family disease. And so what we have found is that if we can get health brought to our families, that gives our loved one the best chance at getting better and getting into recovery. And so I want to just say thank you again to all of our volunteers, not only in the state of Arizona, because although she recognized that we have all of these individuals in Arizona doing this, this homegrown nonprofit here has now expanded into almost every state in the United States. And we have people attending our meetings from at least 5 foreign countries now as well. This issue, for those not familiar with it, overdose is now the leading cause of death for those under the age of 50. So we have a lot of work to do, and we're just so thankful that we have people that are willing to step up and bring hope to hurting families. So thank you so much.
No, as a person who has adopted Arizona as her home continental United States state, I'm from Puerto Rico, so I can say that. I love when we have homegrown best practices in Arizona that we share with other states. I have fallen in love with this state and the amount of amazing work that I see. And I've worked in a whole number of states throughout my career. It's incredible, and so is taking that hardship and that struggle and turning it into a positive and becoming so big that you need a CEO. That is a tremendous success story. Okay, keep losing my place because this work is so awesome. Great. Our next award category is in service to community. Nope. See, I did it. Yeah. Wait. Aha. Our second honoree for service to community. This honoree has contributed over 5,000 hours to support non-emergency fire responses needs in their communities in the last year. They have installed over 1,600 new smoke detectors while replacing batteries in nearly 5,500 additional detectors. They installed 663 lock boxes on the homes of seniors or adults with disabilities, which allow first responders to access the property in the event of an emergency. And they've contributed nearly 600 hours to community outreach and education efforts. Additionally, this group served over 325 hours at local vaccine clinics and in transporting nurses to residences so that homebound individuals could receive the vaccine. These combined efforts resulted in over $120,000 in savings to their town and was instrumental in keeping response times low for a real emergency situation. And so with this support, you're amplifying the ability to impact and our first responders' ability to impact and doing a whole lot of prevention. So today I'm pleased to recognize the Green Valley Fire Corps volunteers with the Service to Community Award.
Thank you to the governor's office and everyone who made today possible. This is really about our volunteers. My name is Kevin McNichols. I'm the volunteer coordinator with the Green Valley Fire District. The leadership within that fire district and a number of residents 16 years ago decided that they wanted to get involved with the fire district so first responders could have a shorter response time, so they could be readily available for emergencies, and so Fire Corps was born. And out of that came things like running the mail from one district to the other district so a firefighter could be available, but then also the prevention things as well that you heard about, from lock boxes to access the residents, as well as smoke alarms. Our goal is to ultimately make sure that people have those preventative measures in place. And the 60 faces may have changed over the years, but on average there are 60 faces each week that come in and volunteer a few hours each day to help make a difference in our community. And with the direction of our Green Valley Fire Board, the leadership, Chief Wonder, And those people who are with me today, many of those folks have been around for 16 years or so. So it's all about the folks that you see in gray shirts here in the audience and those who couldn't be with us today. So thank you on behalf of the Green Valley Fire District.
Great. Okay. This year, in light of the challenges and opportunities created by the pandemic, we are proud to present a new award category to honor individuals and organizations that played an essential role in supporting their communities throughout the pandemic. Our first honoree in this year's Pandemic Response Award quickly shifted their programming to meet the rapidly changing needs of their community. Early in the pandemic, they served over 200,000 meals to area families and distributed over 10,500 Chromebooks with free internet to children and families to support continued learning at home. As schools resumed in-person instruction, they began opening their doors at 6 a.m., providing 12-hour school days to support children and families. Other efforts to mitigate challenges brought on by the pandemic included opening a community pantry to distribute food and sanitation supplies to over 10,000 individuals. This honoree also served as a source of public health access for the community, providing free testing, immunizations, and community education. Through these efforts, approximately 5,300 children received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine, and 80% of their workforce was fully vaccinated. I'm proud to recognize the Isaac School District with the Pandemic Response Award.
Thank you very much for having us, and thank you for the governor's office and for their staff. Well, I'm Patricia Jimenez. I'm the Isaac School District Board President, and we are honored to accept this award on behalf of our amazing staff, Isaac students, and community. We recognize the continued efforts and ability to adapt the needs of our community during this pandemic. As a board president, I just want to say, and I'm kind of nervous, our superintendent, our staff, our teachers, our community, it's all them. As a board member, I'm just here to support them. So I'm very pleased. I've been in my community for more than 30 years, and I'm very pleased to say that we were one of the first districts to respond to the needs of our community. As you know, Isaac District is in a low-income community, and our parents and the quick response to what the staff did was amazing. Having 2 Chromebooks, having our students, the majority of our parents, work, so our students were able to go to our schools and they were fed, they were ready to go, they were ready to study. So I'm very pleased to our leadership in the Isaac School District community. If it wasn't for them, our kids, wouldn't be where we're at. So thank you, Dr. Ventura. Thank you, my staff. Can you guys please stand up? Because it's them. It's all them. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Our next honoree has also been a pillar of support for youth and families throughout the pandemic. They brought programming into people's homes through virtual service delivery, providing nearly 2,800 virtual family events, including crafts and games, as well as filming over 500 virtual workout sessions so that adults could stay active at home. More than 7,800 seniors in the community received check-in calls, and more than 6,800 children of essential workers received care through this organization. Additionally, they played a pivotal role in supporting 620 opportunity youth who served more than 22,000 hours while exploring new career paths and learning essential skills for employment. This group touched so many lives with such compassion, and it is an honor to recognize Valley of the Sun YMCA with the Pandemic Response Award.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of the YMCA staff and volunteers for making this possible, and the governor's office for this significant recognition. The YMCA has been proud to serve the state of Arizona for over 130 years. Before the state was even founded, the Y was here. Y was first organized in 1892 in the state of Arizona. Many of you have experienced Y basketball courts, as we invented basketball, swimming pools and fitness facilities. Some of you may have even participated in the pandemic-related programs Y sponsored. And this, as I found out, is not unusual. The Y, during World War I, the response to the Y was to touch over 90% of all the servicemen in Europe in some morale and other support organizations. It's been in the DNA and history of the Y. When issues arise, the Y is there to help. So when the gyms were closed during the pandemic, the YMCA immediately pivoted, and I can tell you, the branches were, what are we going to do in the next 2 hours? They had about that much time to determine how they would respond. They opened their facilities for childcare for essential workers. Then they started outreach programs to the seniors, over 6,000 or 7,000 calls to seniors who were isolated. Virtual workouts, as was mentioned, to keep folks fit while they were still at home. And also they transported folks to vaccination sites who didn't have the ability to transport themselves. This year has been filled with service to the citizens of the great state of Arizona. And during this time, it's been our privilege and honor to further our tradition of this support. Thank you again to the Y staff and volunteers who made this all happen, and to the governor's office for this significant award. Thank you.
Our last honoree in this category are practitioners and co-founders of the Arizona Korean Nurses Association. During the pandemic, they quickly recognized the need to connect with the Asian community because they knew that language and perhaps low technology proficiency could hinder access to the COVID vaccine. Over a 10-month period, these honorees organized 10 community clinics in the East Valley. They also worked closely with the Maricopa County Public Health Department to secure vaccine doses, communicated with the Asian and Hispanic community organizations to ensure registration forms and volunteers were available in up to 10 different languages, and connected with grocers and retail centers to secure a comfortable and familiar location where community members could access vaccine. Together, they spent over 1,000 hours organizing and executing these events and leveraged an additional 4,000 hours from other volunteers and maybe voluntolds in order to vaccinate over 2,300 individuals. Please join me in recognizing Sun Jones and Sun Wright with the Pandemic Response Award.
Ooh, hard to act follow, with everyone saying such a beautiful thank yous, and we weren't really prepared to say that, but just like to thank Governor Ducey, and I brought this so I don't make a mistake, the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family, so this is a great privilege to be standing here and accepting this award on behalf of our community leaders. As nurse practitioners, we see our community members and we try to help them. And as immigrants, we know the challenges, as the languages and technology and all of those. So it was very easy for us to return back to our community. So we founded Arizona Korean Nurses Association about 11 years ago. And we started flu clinic. At the time, we went around to different churches and gave flu shots. It had grown to where we are serving the East Valley Asian American minority communities. And with that background, and with my sister working for the Maricopa County, it was very easy for us to form a clinic for the COVID vaccinations. So we would like to thank.
I would like to thank Dr. Sunshine from Maricopa County Public Health Department. Without her support and trust us handling vaccination, we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we did. And I also like to thank her staff and the volunteers that supported us.
And most importantly, all the Asian minority and Hispanic leaders who came to the meeting when I called and said, we have this idea. Would you like to be part of our group and vaccinate your community members? And they all came and they volunteered so many hours. Sometimes we had so many volunteers show up at our clinic, maybe because we served the Korean food for lunch, you know. But we had more than volunteers we requested from Maricopa County, the Volunteer Corps. And so we want to thank all those volunteers. However, most importantly, we could not have serviced our community for the last 11 years without our family members. Because when we did not have volunteers, I'm like, okay, you guys are coming. So we have a huge family and 10 of them, and they're just sitting back there. And without their help, getting up early in the morning to get everything set up so other volunteers can, help us easily. It's just, we could not have done all of those volunteer work without them. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Now, our final honoree today is being presented with the Lifetime Achievement Award. This individual has volunteered with the Ronald McDonald House in Tucson for the past 34 years. And she has had a hand in serving nearly 15,000 families. It's a tremendous impact. In that time with Ronald McDonald, she has played and filled almost every single role you can imagine at Ronald McDonald House, including house manager, kitchen manager, receptionist, housekeeper, and even chauffeur. During her time with the Ronald McDonald House, her husband and 5 children also joined her to support with gift wrapping, handing out presents, decorating for parties during the holiday season, and for her, no task is too big or too small, and every task was tackled with enthusiasm and love. Now, at 83 years young, she still serves faithfully 2 days a week, greeting families, answering phones, writing thank you notes to donors and to other volunteers, many of whom became volunteers because of her and her commitment to the work. In fact, in over 30 years, she has had near perfect attendance in her time, only missing 1 day, and that was due to a family wedding. So Ronald McDonald House is often called the house that love built, and this volunteer is the heart of that home. It is impossible to measure a lifetime of kindness and love, but it is very easy to recognize it. And so it is my privilege to recognize Judy Goddard with this year's Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, that was quite an introduction. And, not quite sure it's all true. But I do have to say that without my husband of 64 years and my 5 children, one of who's here today, and my grandchildren, one of who is here today, I wouldn't be able to do what I do at the Ronald McDonald House. And yes, it is the house that love built. But as volunteer coordinator, I see the love that my volunteers give to all our families. We see families in the worst of circumstances and in the best. And our goal is to help these families any way that we can. And the love that pours through that house is unbelievable. And I've noticed that the families going through the hardest of times are the ones that give the love to other families, letting them know that they too can get through it. And that's what we do also. It's just been an honor to serve at the Ronald McDonald House. And I've been asked on more than one occasion, are you retiring? And I'm afraid my answer is still no. I wouldn't know what to do with myself, and my husband probably would not want me at home all the time. But the Ronald McDonald House is called the house that love built, and that's true. So remember the Ronald McDonald House, and if you live, this is Phoenix, and we're Tucson, but you know, every Ronald McDonald House saves those pop tabs, so keep pulling them, because every pull counts. And I thank the governor, and I thank all that have made this possible today. Volunteering is a gift, so try it if you're not doing it.
I couldn't have said it better. I mean, that, what an inspiring way to invest of oneself. Everybody here is inspiring others to serve, but very, very especially Judy. Makes me want to go to Ronald McDonald House tonight, this afternoon. But what an exceptional, ongoing lifetime of service. And when you love that much, this much, you know that those families and those children, they're taking that with them to their homes, to their schools, to the park. And so the impact that you have is not just in that one moment, because that impact goes with people, it travels with them, that love and that heart that you're putting into that work moves on with people and hits so many others. So let's have one more round of applause for all of our honorees. Thank you so much for your service in the state of Arizona and beyond, because great work spreads and great news spreads, and you all are just exemplifying service and heart. I want to take a quick moment to thank Emily Litchfield and Ali, who have been really hard at work putting this event together and managing not just the event, but numerous programs, and they dedicate their lives, and every day that I work with them, I'm impressed because their heart is in supporting volunteerism and making sure that we're growing our capacity to have service and volunteerism in this state. And so I'm very grateful because there's a lot that happens behind the scenes, not just for an event like this, but to make sure that our programs have healthy investment and have healthy support. And so I'm very grateful for both of them. And Kristen Sorensen and Olivia Cristiani and Kainoa, everybody at the GOYFF team is just wonderful. And we all band together, even if you don't see or know them. We all really have a heart for service, and we're all very grateful for you. And as you can see, we have so many in this room, but really across our state. And I know all of you have tremendous networks, so I know this live stream is very popular right now. So I want to thank everybody else out there who is serving and who has been supporting you in this work. I hope that the stories that have been shared today continue to inspire others to get involved in service, get involved in volunteerism. It's contagious. When you volunteer, when you give, when you see those outcomes, when you connect with people, it's a really good feeling and it's contagious. So I really hope there's plenty of work to do. Connect with any of our awardees, with our office, or just volunteer in your local communities, because through service of others, we can have life-changing impacts on so many. Even people you don't know you're impacting, you could be impacting. So thank you everyone for coming today. We appreciate all of the work. I know it can be hard sometimes, but we look forward to hearing more and more about your accomplishments, because without you, Arizona wouldn't be the thriving state it is today. So thank you.